Caminiti to bring it to within 1 point. Caminiti's got the last two. St Kilda have got the last 6. 1 point game. 41 seconds on the clock.
Welcome to Little Birdie TV. I'm your host Scoot, and welcome to Thursday Lines, our fearless look at the AFL and NRL. MG down in Melbourne town. How are you, brother?
Good, Scooty. Yourself?
Mate, I've got a clean record, so I could get away with murder. Good to see Charlie Cameron getting off. One of the AFL's favourite sons, James Sicily and Toby Green. It must be absolutely filthy with that outcome, but no surprise if you're a bad boy, it's rules for you. And if you got a, if you're in the good books of the AFL, you can do whatever you like. You probably have a couple of cheekies before the game and get away with it as well.
Yeah,
Nick Tedeschi.
Good bloke society down here, Scoot.
Wow, what a world. Nick Tedeschi, Rugby League, greatest game of all, served out some absolute beauties. The Gold Coast Titans, Brian Kelly, he was super. Kieran Foran, couldn't have been worse. A tale of two performances there, but it's all happening.
Oh, well, firstly, I'm glad we're not relying on character references here, otherwise I might be sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not going to find too many for the old Toprope. Great game to finish off the Titans. Brian Kelly, his first kick in the NRL was 2 minutes before his last, and was such a shocker. You would have laid hundreds on kicking it off on the sideline, but he got it done. Bit stiff. That field goal. They were offside. The NRL said they were offside. So Casey Badger been banging on about for years. One of the worst referees in the history of the game. Actually got a game on her own. Was utterly ridiculous, and it cost us 10 2 points.
AFL umpiring's absolutely, it's at a low ebb. Hawthorn are at a low ebb, but the jeers were from both sides of the crowds at Hawthorn and Gold Coast Suns. I was in the outer, and the only thing worse than the umpiring at the Hawthorn Gold Coast game was probably Charles' comeback match against his old club, which was disgraceful. And, there's some soul-searching down there at Hawthorn, and I'm a little bit upset, MG. I look at the run sheet, the match of the round, the two winless sides, Kangaroos versus Hawks, and you've just left it off.
Yeah, it's good to see. We can knock off early Sunday afternoon. The AFL's hiding the worst game of the week, 2 weeks in a row, the Sunday. I'll tell you what, 17th v 18th, it's, I think they're giving away the box seats there, free food and free alcohol, and still no one's taken up on it. Not one to look forward to.
They'd need to. Interesting to see at Marvel Stadium, they've started to inject a couple of new restaurants into the precincts. $16 for a schooner of Carlton Draft, or is that a pint or a schooner? Or what am I reading there? They're going down like the lobster, the gourmet route. Do they know their customer down there?
Yeah, it's not fine dining. It's a football Scoot. I think they should just keep it simple down for all football codes. I think all the punters just want pie and sauce and cheap beer.
It's interesting in the AFL. There's a couple of big upsets. Obviously, Brisbane at the MCG, and then Essendon against the Bulldogs. A couple of surprise packets there. You got the total right on the Brisbane-Melbourne game. It was a low-scoring affair, but Western Bulldogs. I did see a few parody accounts tweet out that Luke Beveridge was the next bloke in the gun to be sacked.
Yeah, Toprope licking his lips. There's a chance AFL coach might not be too far away, but a few more upsets. Adelaide come back and beat the undefeated Blues as well, and they hadn't won a game this year. And the mighty West Coast, the last game of the round, dished up Richmond. There was good money for West Coast, and they just dished Richmond up good and proper, and they're in all sorts of tigers, win a couple of premierships, but geez, it might be a while before they win another one.
They've sort of been like a little bit of a pinball. They've been on the road a little bit, and they might have been just ripe at the right time. Rabbitohs lost again to the Sharks. What's the sacking update there? Come on.
Yes, sacking update there is they lifted a bit without Latrell and Cook. So bought him a few more weeks, but I think the club's pretty happy to have that. They've got Penrith and Melbourne after the bye. So you can back those for two absolute thrashings. So they'll allow the assistant Ben Hornby to get off on a better foot, I think. So I think they'll be pretty happy to let this one go a couple of weeks.
Joey Mano leaving the Roosters to go to Japan. Thoughts?
Disgrace, absolute disgrace. But for life, anyone who goes to rugby bar for life, he'll come crawling back. He'll be back within a year or two. You'll pay his cash. I know probably the bloke taking the cash, but what an utterly disgusting game to take it in. Disgrace, bar for life.
Okay, got more than I sort of bargained for there, but the 2024 Masters was an absolute beauty. We spoke about it on last week's show. We did a separate podcast. Big shout out to Adam Fraser. Big Daddy was back. He was all over Scheffler. Wow, how did he find him? But still, have to put your plums on the line and tip something. He had him on top, and he did throw out Ludwig Ardberg as the potential rookie to watch. So he was seeing them well for his cameo performance phrase, but we'll probably sack him and we'll probably get Dogger back for the next major on the circuit. But he's an elusive man, and we'll try and get Big Daddy's tips regardless. But it was a bit of a snooze fest late. Nick Tedeschi, Scheffler the runaway winner, a little bit boring. He's a little bit vanilla, Scotty, but gosh, his ball placement off the tee was sensational. And probably the biggest story out of golf is little Rory McIlroy, the old Irish leprechaun looking for a pot of gold.
You're not wrong there. Yeah, first off, last it was one of the more boring Sunday Masters, unfortunately. But Scotty Scheffler, God got him home. I think he was looking at all sorts on the Saturday, and then Scotty sent a message to the group. God can't help. Where was God then? And then Scotty, I don't think, hit a bogey after that. So Scotty was in control from that point on. So cheers, Scott. It was a long road for those chasing now. Like he ball starting Lewis Emmanuel. He was hardly even on song on Sunday and Saturday, to be honest. But he did more than enough to get them where they needed to be, but also his putting was back to semi-reasonable now, semi-decent, but his course management, he just doesn't put himself in double, triple bogey position. He bounced back so well. So, it was tremendous stuff from Scotty Scheffler. Deserved, the records are tumbling, and he tied with one of the players and had a Masters in the 1 year. He's one of the few number ones in the world to win the Masters as world number one. So, you can't begrudge him. For me, though, the absolute highlight was this. Oh, I miss you, Meredith. I can't wait to get back, Meredith. Can't wait to get back and hang out with you, Meredith. And then all of a sudden he gets back and he's straight to the pub, straight to the tavern. There's photos of him knocking around the tavern, just like, all right, Scotty, let's get off the high horse right now. I thought we were rushing over our freaking bluff. Well, all of a sudden you're knocking around some sleazy Dallas taverns.
Hard to beat a good American dive bar, Nick Tedeschi, as you know, and as you probably witnessed firsthand. But I was really interested in some of the comments that Scotty said post win too. He said that it was already written. It was in his destiny, and God had already willed it, and all this sort of thing. So I wouldn't mind if he just gives us the rest of the set. So if you could just let us know which other majors he's going to be there for, or God's going to be with him, we can just put the house on and chalk up his next couple of major wins. That'd be the right thing to do, and God would like everyone to win.
No, absolutely. But what I want to know is all these other fans who are so invested in the tour's Bible studies and who are presumably praying to God for a victory as well. Well, they've been left with nothing. One of the great religious fanatics on the tour, Zach Johnson. He's there swearing at the patrons on 12. So it's God can't get everyone over the line.
No, we can't. Oh, I think we've just alienated all our Christian listeners, but I've been baptised, and I'm a big believer as well. So we're obviously a bit of tongue in cheek here. UFC absolutely going bananas at the moment. The Holloway knockouts need to be seen to be believed, and the interest in boxing in UFC is just crazy at the moment. Went past a pub the other day, thought, what's all this roaring and shouting down at Miami Tavern? And it's not for the rugby league, it's for the UFC. So everyone's all about that, and Conor McGregor's going to return on June 29th, and then you've got the Mickey Mouse matchup with Tyson and Paul on July 20th. And that'll be seen. You have to see that to believe that one. Also, there's not enough change in the premiership prices, so I'm going to scrap that for now. But make sure you check out topsport.com.au for the latest odds in all the current action across the weekend, and make sure you support them. Australian owned and operated. They're a great supporter of our show. Let's have a look at UMG last week for your round 5 tips package. No hiding here. You've thrown out 93.75 units for the year. You're down 7 units. A couple of good things have sort of gone over, and some just out of character performances have set you back into the negative there at 7.47%. But Toprope, you're still the star of the show at the moment. 136 units bet at plus 24.23 units profit with a pot of 17.82%. So seeing them like beach balls, and it's only early days in the season, but hopefully you guys can start churning and printing more money out for everyone. Let's have a look at the one thing that AFL have been doing right, been saying a lot, is the fixturing, and that's what MG alluded to also, hiding the bad games on the Sunday Arvo. They had Richmond and West Coast hidden away last week, and they've got my Hawks and the Kangas hidden away, but a controversial match and a real grudge match this week is St Kilda versus the Western Bulldogs Thursday at 7:30 at Marvel Stadium. I'm sure they'll be lining up for the gourmet food, these the fans of these clubs. $1.79 the Saints, Western Bulldogs 2.02 the line, 2.5, 158.5 is the total. How can you trust the Western Bulldogs after they dished up that crap last week against Essendon MG?
Yeah, agree, Scooty. It's both sides under pressure here. Only records are 2 and 3, so the fallout for the loser in this game is going to be pressure right on, especially if it is the Bulldogs, because there's already rumblings for the coach. He's had a debacle of a game again last week for mine. No plan B again. He's yet to develop one since he won a premiership, and yeah, they were very disappointing. Beaten out of sight. They got some key injuries in this game, both for key forwards. King's out for St Kilda, Ugelhagen out for the Bulldogs, but the big loss is going to be in the midfield with Libba, with the strange falling over. They said he didn't have concussion, but he took a couple of bumps, but they put him out anyway, so he's going to have the week off, so he's going to be a big loss in the midfield. But yeah, hard to trust either side, Scooty here. Can't come to St Kilda either off a 5-day break. Bulldogs off a 6, and even though St Kilda have won 2 games this year, all 5 of their games have resulted in 15 points either way. So they're in low-scoring games, just coming down to the finish whether they win or lose. So can't disagree with the market here. It's been pretty solid. St Kilda favourite 3 down to 2. Can't really come to either side. I think the total, the way it's trending at the moment, started at 160 down to 158. I think it'll probably close closer to 155. I just think St Kilda turn this game into, drag it into the mud like they love to do. It'll be a close game, and whoever probably kicks straighter will win. So I don't think there'll be too many points in this game. So if you're going to have a play, you'd probably bet the under. But yeah, no play for me at this stage, Scoot.
Remarkable. Just these totals, like if you rewind 10 years ago, these totals are 199, 200, 210, 220. They used to kick massive scores. It's hard to believe that fast forward 10 years and the totals are 158.5, isn't it, MG?
Yeah, a lot of it's just come down to kicking. We played 2 totals last week, got beaten by 8 points in one and 5 in the other. So, a lot of the totals we've played this year, I think, it's been unbelievable portion of being within 2 goals either way. So, around that 160 to 170 points is hard to play. But, yeah, St Kilda are 4 out of 5 in the unders this year. So, they just refuse to score and play from the back half. So, with both big forwards out, I think I'd be leaning towards the under in this game.
You're very unlucky in the ASL, MG, if you get beat by a straight kick. Very unlucky.
I think this is the match of possibly the round, and definitely where my remote will be going. It's the Roosters versus the Storm, Thursday night, 7:50 at Allianz Stadium. And 182 the Storm, 198 Roosters, 1.5, 38.5 the total there. Free bet. Who am I backing here? Toprope?
I'll be on the under in this one. I think from a side point of view, Storm have the edge here to 1-9 the last 10, covered 8 of those. One of the last 4 against the Troops in New South Wales. It's just been something a little bit off about that. The Storm, one of them pushed by the Dogs last week, pushed by Underman Broncos the week before. They've covered just 2 of their last 10 at night, 11 of the last 29 in the States. I'm not hugely confident there. Roosters get Teddy back. Sam Walker's still out. Covered just 3 of 11 off a window, covered 4 through a Dog. Very hard there to get a hold of. Small in Melbourne, but very keen the under here. 7 of the last 11 have gone 36 or fewer. The others hit 11 of the last 15. 9 of 3 the under when the Chooks played Allianz have gone under in 11 of their last 12 for win, the Chooks. So I'll be back in the under here with a good deal of confidence. It's tumbled down from 40.5 to 38.5. So I'll be looking to get on before it's the 37.5 mark.
Rod Pappenhausen scored last week. We got the money with the anytime try scorer, and it must be a typo on your sheet. I see Daniel Tupou was the bet this week. Where's Pap?
Pap in a low score. I'll be backing Pap. Don't get me wrong. We're backing Pap. But in a low score, I don't want to go too low score. I don't want to be try scorers. And Daniel Tupou, the try scorer, only because he's against former rugby union player Will Warbrick, who has started defending like he's still playing rugby union all over the shop. Has conceded pretty much all Storm tries down that way. So Tupou will try to forward to your score, but you'd be mad not to have a Tupou Pap little same game multi. That'd be crazy.
Delish, that's more like it. Friday night we've got Adelaide versus Essendon, and it's anything but delicious here. $1.45, the Crows looks scary. $2.65, Essendon Bombers looks as scary. The line 13.5, 173.5. The total, MGB, our shining light.
Yeah, a bit stiff here. They've landed on a Friday night fixture like this, having 3 cracking games all in a row on Saturday. But anyway, that's how the chips fall. Still won't deny there'll be a big crowd in Adelaide for this one. I think
good crowd.
Essendon supporters do travel to watch their team, so I think there'll be a big crowd, good weather. What do we got here? A Fawn. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise. I couldn't have kicked Essendon any harder last week, but the ratings have come up on mine anyway that they're the play this week, Scoot.
Oh, so, no.
Yeah, I know they're going into state. The 13's just too big, and I just think it's because of the way the modelers have set up their year. They're just slow to react on Adelaide. They just seem to be unders most weeks. So they're probably an opposing team at the moment until it gets restructured. So I had it closer to 6, so 13's a definite lean at the plus. They are on the road. Head-to-head, they've won 6 straight Essendon against Adelaide, and 2 of those have been at the Adelaide Oval. So they don't mind travelling to the Adelaide Oval to play. Even though Adelaide got over Carlton, I thought it was a pretty ordinary match by Carlton to kind of let them back in. So yeah, it's going to be a tough watch. But yeah, I'm happy with the start of Essendon here. Probably should have played the total either. Posted 176 was too high for mine. Friday night game at Adelaide, even though they are Essendon like a high-scoring game, but I think 176 was too big. It's gone down to 173. Probably not too much more movement. The value may have gone out of it, but yeah, I think it's more around the 170 mark. So play on the dog and lean to the under in this one, Scoot.
All right, there's a good way to play it. And then you got Friday night at TO Stadium in Darwin. NRL encroaching on AFL heartland. What is this nonsense? Parramatta Eels $1.40, $2.95 the Dolphins, 7.5 the line, 185 the minus at Top Sport, and then 44.5 the total here. Toprope, Darwin, Rugby League. They haven't heard of it up there.
Please, it's rugby league heartland up there. I'm sure I prefer rugby league more rugby league to AFL up there. It's not people on the end state. No, well, Eels have only been going up there for a decade, so it's nothing nearly as good. Let's not throw the baby out the bathwater on that one. Look, Parramatta have a diabolical record up here. They are very, very, very short. No Mitchell Motors is 8.5 point favourites. It covers 4 in the state. I'm not rushing to the shorts there. But no, how much of the Dolphins makes it difficult to get involved in. Small in the plus, but very, very, very confident there'll be plenty of points this one. These guys put on 68 points when they played last year. The over is 11-3 on the Eels in the state, 13-4 when they're a road favourite. Hit in their last 7 night games. They're over 6-1 when the Dolphins also scoring 14 or fewer, 6-2 when they're in the state. Love the over here. I'll be backing that. I'll be having a little bit of the old Ric Flair, the old nature boy on the 61 plus.
34 degrees, so a low of 26, humidity up the yin yang, and then 34 top.
No one wants
so
to tackle.
Surely that suits the Dolphins.
You'd think so. They've got a pretty hard-hitting forward pack as well, but so do the Eels. Well, on prices alone, I just don't know how you get involved with the Eels. Yeah, they got beat by Canberra in their last vote, 49. The Raiders are rubbish. So we've got a coaching edge here. Yeah, I'll be taking the plus and really steaming that over.
Beautiful. So plus 7.5 at TopSport currently, and it might start shorter. Let's have a look at the Gabatoir Saturday, 7:30 p.m. and Brisbane Lions, $1.50. Geelong Cats, $2.50. 11.5 the line. Under and over here is 167.5 MG. You were savage about Geelong Cats early in the season. This is probably this is the litmus test for the Cats. No tougher assignment than Brisbane on the road at the moment.
Not sure how savage I was. I was one of the few that we had them in the 8 scoot. So I like the draw on the Cats. I'll make the 8 too. This is a tough test.
I'll have to go back into the. I thought you were a little bit harsh on them.
No, backed them for the overseason wins and had them in the 8. Bit of a rare thing there, Scooty, but we can go back and check it, mate.
Can go back.
Yeah, this is a tough game. As I said, the 3 games in a row here on the Saturday are cracking games, and this is the finale of it. Up on the Gabba, I think the market price here, Scoot's spot on. Market's just come down a point. Brisbane 12 to 11, and slightly probably on the back of Cameron got let off from the chance lotto at the tribunal. We won't go into that anymore, but Geelong do get back Hawkins and Dangerfield, so obviously the big hawk will make a big difference. Dangerfield's up off probably about a month off, so he's a big inclusion as well. I think if I was going to play the side, I'd probably still lean to Geelong. Won 14 of their last 18 head-to-head and also covered 14 of the last 18 lines. Yeah, so they're undefeated this year. They're going pretty well, and it'll basically come down to Geelong's defence if they can hold up against Brisbane's offence. Which leads me into the play for the not for the week, but definitely one of the major plays is the under total here. Posted 169, too high. Brisbane at night. There's a chance for Dew and getting a bit slippery, especially as the game goes on. So it's already moved down a couple of points. I think it's got a long way to go here, Scoot. I'd be surprised. 167 now. Surprised if they don't split out being closer to 160 than where it is now. So I still think there's room to move on the under, and I think it'll be pretty tight. So if you're going to play things like the margins, I think this is a pretty good game to play either side under 15.5 or even 24. I think there'll be this one will go down to the wire, Scoot.
Monster weather watch here with 12 mils set to hit overnight on Saturday/Sunday. So early as of Sunday morning, if that 12 mil decides to poke its head out early, which it can up here, you can see that total just absolutely do a bit of a cave-in job. So be all over the bomb or wherever you get your weather there, and it could be a chips-in job. You'll ring your mate that lives near the Gabba and say, hey, wind out that window and let us know what's going on, because that's definitely one to check out. And obviously the race at Eagle Farm will be a good little guide for that also. Let's go back into the Broncos now. Similar story, weather watch there for Broncos Raiders Saturday night at Suncorp Stadium. $1.40 Broncos, $2.95 the Raiders, who are up and about at the moment. 7.5 the line and 44.5 the total.
Chips in job, Broncos here. Chips in job. Not a huge Broncos fan this year, but they get everything lined up here. Bar Adam Morales playing for mine. They've won 6 of the last 7 against the Raiders at Suncorp. They've covered 7 of their last 8 overall at Suncorp. Covered 11 of 13 at night. 15-8 against the spread off a win of 13 plus. The Raiders were lucky to get away with that game against the Titans. They, I think, are a pretty orderly defensive side, and that is got how the Broncos can score from anywhere. So I think that then they're also, I think the clue of the Broncos at the moment is their defense. Yeah, I don't think the Raiders will be able to expose them. So, very keen on minus there. A small bet on the over as well. I think there's plenty of points, but I think they'll be coming from the one side. And I'll be a little steamy to the Broncos, Michael. I think this could be a 40, 50 point job this weekend.
Yeah, Toprope, I've got a bit of an angle here, and it's blatantly yours, but Ezra Mam, 275 anytime try scorer. My research, being yours, says that he's had 27 tries in 45 games, and he's a great bet when they're heavily favoured. They're heavily favoured here, and they're getting 275 anytime try scorer.
He is. I'm 100% confident. My favourite phrase of a weekend at the moment is the try scorer models are broken. They're broken everywhere. Absolute silliness. In fact, he's that price because he's a 5'8". If he was playing fullback, he'd be a $2 shot. And it's silly because he plays like, the Billy Slater types. back in the day. So he's everywhere. He's a great support player. He's all the way around. Ezra Man is there's probably a crew of 6 or 7 players, Turbo, Pap, a few others who are just every week bets, and he's an every week bet. There's a man.
Well, that's exactly right. And if that's not further proof that you need to part with 33 a week to get Nick Tedeschi's insights, well, I don't know what other evidence you need. 17% winner on pot. So there you go. And make sure you cash in not only on the head-to-heads and the line bets, but all those anytime try scorer angles. He is full of knowledge, our man. Let's look at Sunday. We've got Sydney Swans versus my second team, the Gold Coast Suns. $1.35 the Swans, $3.05 the Suns, 19.5 the line, and the total here is 172.5. SCG may save them, but I still didn't think the Suns were much chopped, despite putting away the Hawks comfortably. There's still some big problems through their spine, I'd say, the Suns. The midfield was ticking over nicely, but I'm still not convinced the Suns, MG.
Yeah, same. I just think, not taking any form line last week, beating your Hawks, Scoot. It would have been a tough watch for you up there. But I'm keen on Sydney here. I'm actually surprised. I had it much closer to 25 here, Scoot, so keen to bet. There was some 18 at Top Sport early, so put out that play. It's only moved marginally to 19. I just think this will go one way in the betting. Sydney are off the bye, which is not a query, but sides off the bye, generally might take a week to get going. But I just can't take a form. The Gold Coast are hard to catch. So far, they're 3 wins against Richmond, Adelaide, and Hawthorn. So that doesn't bode too well. And 2 times they've played sides above them, the Bulldogs, who aren't going great, lost, and then obviously lost to the Giants, who are undefeated. So I just think Sydney at the SCG, they've won 11 of the last 15 head-to-head, covered 9 of 15 as well, won 2 straight against the Gold Coast. Gold Coast don't mind the SCG, actually, Scoot. The last 6 matches, it's 3-3 split. So Gold Coast have actually won a couple of games at the SCG. But I just think that there's a class difference here. So I'd like Sydney to come back off the bye and win, and hopefully they cover the spread by a comfortable margin here. I just think I think the Gold Coast going well enough with their draw and stuff. I think they're a chance to make the 8. But big differences. I think Sydney are a chance to win the premiership, and they'll get the job done at home.
Yeah, I thought just the closeness and the in-tight stuff might be able to save the Suns, and the structure of the game might be good for them. But interesting. I'm not sure if it's Racing Victoria have organised some cloud seeding up at Sydney, but the new forecast for Saturday in Sydney is up to 20 mil of rain. So make sure you watch that one. So could be 3 mil on Friday and then up to 20 mil on Saturday. So it's a pretty good drying deck. So by Sunday, 1 o'clock, the SCG should be pretty sweet there, but definitely a little bit of an asterisk around Saturday fixtures, not only for the racing, but for the AFL. Let's head towards Sunday at Top Sports Stadium, Sharks versus the Cowboys. 165 the Sharks, North Queensland's Cowboys 225, line 3.5, 44.5. What will Scotty Morrison be thinking walking into Shark Park here, Nick Tedeschi?
Well, actually, he's subscribed to the sheets and he's chips in all the Sharkies here. I think there would be a concern though, but I'll be willing to see the cash in hand before giving him the set, because he's not known for telling the truth. Our old friends tell it, but Chips and Sharks here. I have my favourite all stadiums, Top Sports Stadium, one of the great venues. Shark Park here, 15, Sharks 15-9 against the spread of the ground. But the 2 angles that really hit me here are head-to-head dominance the Sharks over the Cowboys. They've won and covered 14 of the last 17. And teams on back-to-back interstate games covered as 44%. And those off a loss covered as 42%. It's a very, very tough angle to overcome. Cowboys covered as 9 of 26 in the state. I'm very keen on the Sharks. I think they'll be winning and winning well. I think for those who don't mind a little bit of the old nature boy, the old Ritz Flair, he'll be sprinkling a bit on the 13 plus. I'll be having a little bit on the 30 plus exact margin, and I'll be looking for multiple Ronaldo Mortale tries as well as Teague Wilton.
All right, so one of your best bets for the week, the Sharks.
lot of good bets this week. Last week was a bit quiet. Wasn't so keen on that many, but this week, keen on probably 4 or 5, and the Sharks are right up there.
Just one from left field. I know I didn't really speak about the premiership betting, but is New Zealand Warriors a little bit of a sleeper or any value to win the premiership, or just can't get past Penrith?
No, absolutely. Look, they are shaping up as the team that come September potentially has the most upside to beat Penrith. I say that, and they're now, well, they're off the pace from Penrith, but they're right in a mix with the Broncos and Storm and maybe the Roosters for that next tier of teams. But they're upside with their pack and getting their back line firing. They could easily have been the second best team. So I completely agree. I think they're there. And if they're looking ahead, they just signed James Sharon next year. He's probably the best prop in the game. If he's not the best, he's in the top 2 or 3. Or they've got him replacing Adam Fanua late next year. The Warriors are going to start next year, probably second premiership favourites. So, I made it stuff for the wires across the ditch.
I saw like north of $3 to make the top 4 just in case they can't overcome Penrith. But if I just say liked a couple of your tips this week and a couple of any times, and then want to flare up a horse into that, and just wanted to get the Warriors loaded for top 4 finish, would that be good betting? Is their draw good enough late of that? Because it looks like they've done enough, I think, against some tough teams early.
And they've done it with like their key player is Charles Nichols-Clockstone at fullback. He's not the most exciting player, the most dynamic player, but he's really central to kind of unlocking that back line. Dalmatines Lesniak has a ridiculous record. He's got like something like 24 tries in 19 games. But Charles has played there. So I'd say no reason. I'm just playing the Warriors draw now. But they obviously benefit a lot through Origin.
Origin, yep.
There's always a massive plus. They get a lot of their tough games through Origin. Like they get the Broncos during Origin, which is a huge plus. Like I think it's a week where the Broncos will have all their players. But you're still on the backup. That's hugely beneficial there. Cowboys as well. And then they're going to finish off with what looks a reasonably easy draw with a bye in the last round. So, their last 4 games will be away to the Dolphins. You'd think that they'll be a massive runner there. They've got the Bulldogs in that run as well. They've got the Sharks at home. So, I think they're a big shot.
All right, there you go. Scooty's own research. Put my own spin on it. I haven't stolen this one off Top Rope, but if you like the wires and want to get a bit keen on them late in the year, now's the time to strike and pounce with Origin just around the corner. So there you go. Hopefully we can find a little bit of a steamer here. But I will be backing them top 4 and premiership before this round starts. I'm expecting a big turnaround. MG, final word from you. Anything else that we should be keeping our eye out, or any sort of bit of gold just like that I think I've produced?
No, in the AFL, you can obviously get the tips online and given to you today. But yeah, it's the Storm again tonight. Fair income $1. What was it? 82. That'll kick us off. Top Rope's kidding, not chips in for the Storm. The only problem they've got Top Rope is they keep winning.
I mean, they keep winning close ones, or maybe they're not deserving of winning these close ones. So, but I'll be back. I think they're they'll save all the Chooks. The Chooks are a good team to.
Storm and the Pap, Scoot.
Storm and the Pap. We'll just go to what we know. The little mini ATM. All right, that's a wrap from us. Make sure you check out Top Sport. Make sure you head to the Little Birdie store. If you're having a problem beating your bookie, these guys will help you turn it around. Littlebirdie.live, so it's $33 a week for Top Rope, and then it's $25 a week for MG. They do all the homework. They go through all the games. It's all written. It's all easy. It's emailed to you every Tuesday or Wednesday, so you just sit back and relax and enjoy the game. And it's helps you get through some, I guess, howler decisions in not just AFL but NRL umpiring. It's just at a low ebb. So fingers crossed they have a good week, and I'm certain that the boys will have a good week. And make sure you get all about the New Zealand Warriors. This is the time to back them, and we can cheer them on, and we can just shape our book nicely for the rest of the season. But that's a wrap from us, and we'll see you next week.